This is All India Radio. I am Naresh Mago, and with me is Rupinder Kaur Chawla with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on a two-day visit to Gujarat inaugurates Arogya Van at Kevadia in Narmada district. India's active COVID-19 cases drop below 6 lakhs. Recovery rate improves to 91.15%. Campaigning for second phase of state assembly elections gains momentum in Bihar, polling for 94 seats on 3rd November. Eid-e-Miladun-Nabi being celebrated with religious fervor across the country. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion. And in IPL Cricket, Kings 11 Punjab take on Rajasthan Royals in Abu Dhabi this evening. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of caution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask. Maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing. Focus on hand and face hygiene. Now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated Arogya Van at Kevadia in Narmada district of Gujarat today. He also visited Arogya Kutir, where he was apprised about the project. Arogya Van is set up on 17 acres of land in Kevadia for spreading awareness on yoga, Ayurveda and meditation. Arogya Van has 380 species of plants and trees with rich medicinal values. Apart from natural therapy of Kerala, souvenirs, shops and cafeteria are also a part of this Arogya Van project. Our correspondent reports that the Prime Minister is scheduled to inaugurate about 17 different projects and lay the foundation stones for 4 projects at the Statue of Unity complex near Kevadia. During his visit, the Prime Minister will also pay rich tributes to the Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, on his 145th birth anniversary tomorrow. He will also participate in the Ekta Parade to be held at the Statue of Unity on the occasion of Rashtriya Ekta Divas. Earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi reached Ahmedabad this morning on a 2-day visit to Gujarat. He was received by Governor of Gujarat Acharya Devvrat, Chief Minister Vijay Rupani and other senior officials at the airport. A report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has dedicated Arogya Van and Ekta Mall in Kevadia today. He is scheduled to dedicate a series of projects in Kevadia near the world's tallest statue, the Statue of Unity complex. These projects are the Jungle Safari, Handloom and Handicraft Center and world's first technology-based children nutrition park. Mr. Modi will also inaugurate the nation's first Glow Garden and Cactus Garden late this evening. The Prime Minister will also undertake a 40-minute-long boat ride from jetty built near Statue of Unity to a jetty built near Shrestha Bharat Bhavan. During this, he will unveil the plaque of 9 projects such as jetty and boating for Ekta Cruise, Navigation Channel, Navagora Bridge, Garudeshwar Weir, Ekta Nursery, Khalwani Ecotourism, Government Housing, 2 bus terminuses and house stay project. Mr. Modi will also lay the foundation stone of 4 new projects this evening. These include Administrative Bhavan, Government Housing, SRP Quarters and others houses to rehabilitate the people of 5 villages who were affected by the Statue of Unity project. Kevadia is now shining with 1 billion LED lights spread over 25-kilometer area around the Statue of Unity on the eve of Rashtriya Ekta Divas celebrations tomorrow. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
The Prime Minister visited Gandhinagar and paid homage to former Chief Minister Keshubhai Patel, who passed away yesterday. He met the family members of late Keshubhai and expressed condolences. Prime Minister Modi also met the family members of late Shri Mahesh Kumar and Naresh Kanodia, the artist brothers turned politicians who passed away recently, and expressed his condolences to them.
India's active COVID-19 cases has dropped below 6 lakh today. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 5,94,000. Health Ministry said the constantly increasing recoveries have ensured that the actual caseload of the country has reduced and currently comprises only 7.35% of the total positive cases. The country's recovery rate amongst the COVID-19 patients has improved to 91.15%. More than 57,000 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours. The total number of recoveries has reached over 73,73,000. In the last 24 hours, 48,648 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases in the country so far to over 80,88,000. Currently, India's case fatality rate is at 1.50%, which is one of the lowest globally. In the last 24 hours, 563 deaths have been reported, taking the toll to 1,21,090. According to Indian Council of Medical Research, more than 11,64,000 tests were conducted during the last 24 hours. The total number of samples tested so far has reached to over 10 crore 77 lakh. In Bihar, COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 95.55%. This is 4.55% more than the national average. The number of active cases in the state is continuously declining. Currently, 8,884 patients are undergoing treatment at various hospitals. In all, 1,068 patients have recovered in the last 24 hours, while 783 new cases were reported. Over 205,385 patients have so far recovered from the infection in the state.
In Madhya Pradesh, the number of COVID-19 cases in the state climbed up to around 1,70,000 after 728 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. With 16 patients succumbing to the infection, the death toll rose to over 2,929. More from our correspondent.
As per the State Health Bulletin, 1,117 coronavirus patients were discharged from the hospitals in the past 24 hours, taking the number of recovered cases in the state to around 1,57,000. There are now 9,689 active cases in Madhya Pradesh. More than 26,000 tests were conducted in the state last day. At the same time, around 28 lakh tests have been conducted so far. Now more than 100 patients are being reported daily only in Bhopal and Indore in the state, while in the remaining districts, the number of new patients has come down to less than 50. For the convenience of the common people, 711 fever clinics are being operated in the state. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Telangana, 1,531 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in the last 24 hours. With this, the total COVID cases in the state rose to 2,37,187. The state conducted over 43,000 tests yesterday. The recovery rate was reported at 91.65%, with 1,048 more people recovering yesterday. The daily bulletin issued by the State Medical and Health Department stated that total deaths rose to 1,330, following 6 more people succumbing to COVID-19 and other comorbidities in the last 24 hours. Currently, the state has nearly 18,000 active cases, out of which nearly 15,000 are in home isolation.
In Kerala, the State Health Department has decided to set up post-COVID treatment clinics across the state soon. More in this report.
The decision was taken as the number of people who have other health problems after recovering from COVID is increasing, as nearly 10% of the recovered patients are reporting serious health issues. The draft plan for opening special clinics to treat health issues in recovered COVID patients have been prepared. The post-COVID clinics will be opened in hospitals ranging from primary health centers to medical colleges. As per the guidelines issued by the State Health Department, all cured patients have been asked to visit their nearest primary health center, community health center or family health center. The COVID recovered people should have a checkup in the clinics every month. The treatment center will be decided according to the intensity of the health issues. Those who have serious problems will be referred to Taluk hospitals, district hospital and medical college. A team of specialist doctors will be appointed here. Recovered patients can also seek treatment through telemedicine facility. The deputy DMOs who are in charge of the epidemic diseases are the district level nodal officers of the project. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
In Bihar, campaigning for the second phase of state assembly elections is in full swing. The campaigning is picking up for the third phase. In the second phase, 94 constituencies spread over 17 districts will go to polls on 3rd of November. For the third and final phase, polling will be held on 7th of November in remaining 78 constituencies. Leaders of both National Democratic Alliance and Grand Alliance are addressing a series of election meetings and rallies in different parts of the state. BJP President JP Nadda will hold public meetings in Siwan and Begusarai today. Senior party leader and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will also address election rallies in Pirpenti, Kesaria, Raghopur and Begusarai. More from a correspondent.
Union Ministers Ravi Shankar Prasad, Ashwini Kumar Chaubey and Nityanand Rai are also leading the poll campaign of NDA. BJP leaders are giving thrust on the issue of Farm Reform Act, past tenure of RJD-led governance and strong leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in their campaign. JDU President and Chief Minister Nitish Kumar addressed rallies in Khagadia and Parbatta. He said in the past 15 years of his tenure, he worked step by step for development in the education, health and infrastructure sector. The leader of Grand Alliance, Tejasvi Prasad Yadav, addressed public meetings in Teghra and Vibhutipur, claiming that this is the election for paradigm change in Bihar. Rashtriya Lok Samata Party Chief Upendra Kushwaha is holding election rallies and road shows in support of candidates of six-party front GDSF. Kanhaiya Kumar, the CPI leader, said in Chakia and Motihari that assembly elections will pave the way for a new Bihar. Lok Janshakti Party Chief Chirag Paswan and Jan Adhikar Party President Pappu Yadav in their campaigns raising the issue of corruption in the Sat Nischay scheme being implemented in the state. Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Patna.
In Uttar Pradesh, electioneering has intensified with political parties going all out to woo the voters through rallies and gatherings in 7 assembly seats. By-polls will be held for these seats on 3rd November. A report.
BJP leader and Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya today campaigned in Naugama Sadat Assembly in Amroha district. The seat became vacant after demise of Cabinet Minister and BJP MLA Chetan Chauhan, whose wife is now BJP candidate from the seat. Congress leader Rashid Alvi and Samajwadi Party leader Dharmendra Yadav had already campaigned for their party candidates yesterday. BJP leader and Chief Minister of State Yogi Adityanath is spearheading the election campaign for party candidates, while other BJP leaders are also addressing the rallies. Although opposition leaders like Mayawati, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Akhilesh Yadav have not addressed any big rally yet, but leaders from their party are campaigning for their candidates. Election Commission has revised norms concerning star campaigners in view of the COVID pandemic. The number of campaigners for recognized political parties has been restricted to 30 from the earlier 40. For unrecognized parties, the number is 15 in place of 20. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has said the pandemic has laid bare the economic consequences of geopolitics and the risks associated with attempts at concentration of power. Speaking at IFRI in Paris on India's foreign policy in the post-COVID world, Dr. Jaishankar said the pandemic has also highlighted the importance of ensuring supply chain diversification and resilience. He said the world needs more trusted and capable players now, and India fulfills both attributes. The minister said India has always been guided by its ancient philosophy of Vasudev Kutumbakam. Even during the pandemic, India ramped up its pharmaceutical production, especially of hydroxychloroquine and paracetamol, to respond to the growing global demands. Dr. Jaishankar said India supplied medicines to 150 countries, more than half on a non-commercial basis. The minister said that despite the pandemic, India has dealt with the worst crisis in decades on border with China. He said the country has done so with firmness and maturity. Dr. Jaishankar said, at the same time, India has continued to ward off terrorism from across the western border.
Pakistani Minister Fawad Chaudhry has admitted his country's role in the Pulwama terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir. He told Pakistan Parliament that 2019 Pulwama terror attack was a major success for Imran Khan government.
पुलवामा में जो कामयाबी है, पुलवामा में जो हमारी कामयाबी है, वो इमरान खान की क़यादत में इस कौम की कामयाबी है. उसके हिस्सेदार आप भी सब हैं, उसके हिस्सेदार हम भी सब हैं.
This is for the first time a Pakistani minister has admitted what India has long maintained, that Islamabad directly and indirectly encourages and supports terror groups that target India. In reprisal for the Pulwama attack, Indian Air Force planes bombed a Jaish-e-Mohammed training camp in Balakot, Pakistan. Pakistan-based JEM has claimed the responsibility for the attack. During the External Affairs Ministry's weekly news briefing yesterday, spokesperson Anurag Shrivastava again criticized Pakistan for failing to curb terrorism directed against India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has condemned the killing of 3 BJP workers, Fida Hussain Ittu, Umair Rashid Beg and Umair Hanan in Jammu and Kashmir. In a tweet, Prime Minister said they were bright youngsters doing excellent work in Jammu and Kashmir. He said his thoughts are with the families in this time of grief.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, security forces busted a terrorist hideout in the forests of Gambhir Moglan area of Rajouri district today. Our correspondent reports that based on a specific information, a joint party of Jammu and Kashmir Police and 38 Battalion of Rashtriya Rifles launched a coordinated search operation and recovered a huge cache of arms, ammunition and explosives that were kept in the hideout. Senior Superintendent of Police Rajouri, Chandan Kohli, said that the joint team found a hideout that was created beneath the forest surface using stones. During the search operation, the cache of arms and ammunition was recovered. The searches in the area are going on, and police have also taken up the investigation of the case after registration of an FIR in Manja Court Police Station under relevant sections of the law. The Union government today termed as fake a report published by an English daily that Chinese troops have further transgressed into the Indian territory and occupied positions in Finger 2 and 3 of the north bank of Pangong Tso Lake. In a tweet, the Press Information Bureau clarified that the Additional Director General of Public Information of Indian Army has refuted this statement.
Union government today rejected a media report which claims that some large public sector banks have decided to increase the charges for cash deposit and withdrawal from savings account. The Press Information Bureau has described the claim as false. It clarified that banks have not taken such a decision. The PIB has also dismissed a report in which it was claimed that 100 rupees will be charged for every cash withdrawal from the Jan Dhan accounts. It said that there is no charge for free banking service on Jan Dhan accounts, and the claim is false. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on a 2-day visit to Gujarat inaugurates Arogya 1 at Kevadia in Narmada district. India's active COVID-19 cases drop below 6 lakhs. Recovery rate improves to 91.15%. Campaigning for second phase of state assembly elections gains momentum in Bihar, polling for 94 seats on 3rd of November. Eid-e-Miladun-Nabi being celebrated with religious fervor across the country. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion. And in Ipl Cricket, Kings 11 Punjab to take on Rajasthan Royals in Abu Dhabi this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The government has banned exports of onion seeds with immediate effect. In a notification, Directorate General of Foreign Trade DGFT announced prohibition on the export of onion seeds. Earlier, the export of onion seeds was in the restricted category. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal said, ensuring the availability of onions at affordable prices for consumers, government under Prime Minister Narendra Modi has banned export of onion seeds. In Maharashtra, 600 metric tons of onions arrived in the major market committees, including Lasalgaon in the Nasik district since this morning, as the traders resumed onion auctioning. The minimum price per ton today was set at 1,500 rupees, the maximum 5,900 rupees, and the average 5,100 rupees. However, red onion has not arrived yet. Onion traders have stopped participating in the auctioning in protest against the centre's decision of putting up a cap of up to 2 tons for retailers and 25 tons for wholesale traders. More in this report.
In a major relief to onion cultivating farmers in Maharashtra who incurred huge financial losses for the last 4 days, the onion auctioning has resumed in Nasik district today. The move was taken following appeal by Maharashtra Chief Minister. A delegation of traders yesterday met CM Thackeray in Mumbai, who assured them that the state government will follow up with the centre to increase onion stock holding limit. The Nationalist Congress Party Chief Sharad Pawar too had met onion traders and farmers farmers in Nasik and discussed the problems faced by them. Meanwhile, as per the revised order by Union Public Distribution Department, traders have been given a period of 3 days to pack the existing stock of onion they have and send it elsewhere. Also, they are allowed to buy new stock of onion. With inputs from Nasik PTC Sanjay Pathak, Nivedita, AIR News, Mumbai.
Central Goods and Service Tax CGST Commissariat Delhi has busted a major racket for generating fraudulent input tax credit through fake billing of around 1,278 crore rupees. Finance Ministry said the well-established syndicate was being operated by floating 7 different fake firms with the intent of passing of inadmissible credit to the tune of 137 crore rupees. Searches were conducted on over more than 9 places spread over different locations in the state of Delhi and Haryana to identify the taxpayer who were defrauding the government of its legitimate taxes. The modus operandi of the fraudulent taxpayers includes bogus invoices and bills creation without actual movement of goods. All the e-way bills generated to transport the goods were fake. The mastermind of the entire racket, Ashish Agrawal, has been arrested yesterday and has been remanded to the transit judicial custody. The accused of this fake billing racket has been absconding for more than 60 days. The ministry said so far the inadmissible input tax credit of more than 7 crore rupees has been recovered and further investigations are underway to expose the other fictitious billing entities associated with this syndicate. In Andhra Pradesh, 7 people were killed in a road accident in East Godavari district this morning. The mishap took place when a minivan carrying people overturned at Venkateswara Temple Ghat Road in Tentikonda in Gokavaram Mandal of the district. The injured have been shifted to Kakinada Government Hospital for treatment. According to police, about 17 people were travelling in the van at the time of the incident. A report.
The incident took place in the early hours of the day at Tantikonda village of East Godavari district. 6 people died on the spot and another person died in the hospital. Severely injured have been shifted to Kakinada Government Hospital. The AP Governor Biswabhushan Harichandan expressed profound grief and sadness at the bus accident. The Governor asked the district administration to provide necessary immediate medical treatment to the injured persons. Gokavaram is about 33 kilometers away from the nearest town, Rajamahendravaram. As per locals, this is the major accident occurred in Tantikonda area and there is no history of such in the past. Dr. G. Kondalrao, AIR News, Vijayawada.
Tamil Nadu Governor Banwari Lal Purohit has given his nod for the state bill to provide 7.5% reservation for government school students in medical admission. A release from the Raj Bhavan in Chennai said the legal opinion from the Solicitor General was received yesterday. Based on it, the Governor has given his assent to the bill. The state government earlier passed an order yesterday to implement the reservation. The horizontal reservation will be made applicable for the state quota undergraduate medical seats in government and private colleges. In Karnataka, the election office has made special arrangements for COVID-19 patients to cast their votes in the assembly by-election to be held on the 3rd of November. Bengaluru District Election Officer and Commissioner in Bruhat, Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike N. Manjunath Prasad has informed that COVID-19 patients and those with symptoms will be facilitated to vote during the last hour of voting between 5 and 6 p.m. Speaking of the arrangements made in 678 polling booths of R.R. Nagar Assembly segment, he said 1,077 voters in the constituency tested positive. Among them, 317 are in hospitals, 18 in COVID care facilities, and 842 in home quarantine. These voters will be picked up in ambulances and brought to the polling stations and dropped back after they've cast the vote.
The Indian Railways has started Meri Saheli initiative for the safety of women passengers. A team of lady sub-inspectors and constables are formed at the starting railway stations. They identify the lady passengers and comfort them, especially those travelling alone. They are also informed about helpline number 182 in case of emergency. Each railway division has formed a team which visits the lady passengers to ensure they are safe and secured. The Senior Divisional Security Commissioner of Railway Protection Force in the Hubli Division in Karnataka, B.T. Valeshwar, shares details of the new initiative by the railways.
we have formed a team with one sub-inspector at Hubli and 8 constables at different posts like Bijapur, Belgaum, Vasco, where the trains are generally originating or important trains which are passing through. Smile Saheli is an initiative to give a confidence in women passengers in Indian Rail. The women constables will go and also know the whereabouts and how she is feeling during the journey. If she requires any help, immediately our RPF will provide the help, and also the information we are keeping till the end of the station like Nizamuddin throughout the divisions. Like next division is the Pune division. We are forwarding it to the Pune division also.
The nation will celebrate 145th birth anniversary of India's Iron Man Sardar Patel tomorrow. The day is also celebrated as Rashtriya Ekta Divas across the country. In the run-up to the event, All India Radio News brings to you the select excerpts from the speeches of the Iron Man of India from the AIR archives. Here is Sardar Patel's idea on defending the country.
हिंदुस्तान में कोई भी प्रांत के पड़े हैं, हम हिंदुस्तानी हैं और हमारा प्रथम कर्तव्य हिंदुस्तान की हिफाजत, हिंदुस्तान की रक्षा और हिंदुस्तान की आजादी को उसकी अच्छी तरह से शोभे दीपे इस तरह से बनाना। तो सबको साथ लेके ऐसे राष्ट्र के पर्व पर जो पहले हमें जब आजाद थे जो खुशहाली थी, उसी प्रकार की खुशहाली हो, प्रकार मुल्क को उठाना हो, मिलजुल कर काम करना है।
Eid-e-Milad-un-Nabi, the birth anniversary of Prophet Muhammad, is being celebrated with religious fervor in different parts of the country today. Various organizing committees have decided not to take out Milad processions in view of the ongoing pandemic. However, Milad Mehfils and Seerat Majlis are being organized adhering to the COVID guidelines. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have greeted people on the occasion. In a message, the President said, Prophet Muhammad gave the message of love and brotherhood and led the world to the path of humanity. The President asked everyone to work for the well-being of the society and peace and harmony in the country according to the teachings of Prophet Muhammad compiled in the Holy Quran. In his message, the Vice President said, the Holy Prophet showed humanity the righteous path of compassion and universal brotherhood. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted people on Milad-un-Nabi. In a tweet, the Prime Minister hoped that this day furthers compassion and brotherhood all across. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has extended his greetings to the people of the Union Territory on the auspicious occasion of Eid-e-Milad-un-Nabi. In his message of felicitations, the Lieutenant Governor hopes that the auspicious occasion would spread the message of oneness, peace and universal brotherhood among all the sections of the society.
The European Union said that an escalation in the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict was unacceptable and called for new peace talks. 3 ceasefire agreements brokered by Russia, France and the US have failed to hold as civilians have been killed on either side of the conflict. Turkey has demanded a bigger role in any peace negotiations. Tanzania's leading opposition presidential candidate yesterday urged countries not to recognize the results of an election held the previous day. Tundu Lissu, the main challenger to incumbent President John Magufuli, called the elections a travesty due to widespread irregularities.
On to sport. In IPL cricket, in today's match, Kings 11 Punjab will clash with Rajasthan Royals in Abu Dhabi this evening. Chennai Super Kings won by 6 wickets against Kolkata Knight Riders in Dubai last night. Earlier put into bat, Kolkata made 172 for 5. Nitish Rana made a superb 87 in 61 balls. Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. The national capital Delhi will have a misty sky. The minimum temperature was recorded at 15 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 31 degrees. Mumbai will have a partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature was 24 and maximum will be 31 degrees. In Chennai, there will be a generally cloudy sky with temperatures between 25 and 31. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with temperatures between 25 and 34 degrees Celsius. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature was 13 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 30. In Srinagar, the sky will be mainly clear, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening, with temperatures hovering between 0 and 20 degrees Celsius. Leh in Ladakh will have a mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening, with temperatures around -4 and 14 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will witness a mainly clear sky, with temperatures between 2 and 21 degrees Celsius, and in Muzaffarabad, the temperatures will be between 7 and 28 degrees Celsius. Now, before we close the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, on a two-day visit to Gujarat, inaugurates Arogya One at Kevadia in Narmada district. India's active COVID-19 cases drop below 6 lakhs. Recovery rate improves to 91.15%. Campaigning for second phase of state assembly elections gains momentum in Bihar. Eid-e-Miladun-Nabi being celebrated with religious fervor across the country. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion. And in IPL, Kings 11 Punjab to take on Rajasthan Royals in Abu Dhabi this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.